Elon Musk versus OpenAI has officially crossed the line from a messy tech disagreement into something that feels more like a prestige courtroom drama with billion-dollar stakes and a philosophical fight over the future of artificial intelligence. What started as a disagreement over mission and money has now turned into a deeply personal, highly strategic war where every tweet, every deleted message, and every old document suddenly matters more than anyone expected. The reason this just took a wild turn isn't because of a single lawsuit or a single leaked document. It's because both sides are now accusing each other of something far more damaging than greed or hypocrisy. They're accusing each other of lying about the very foundations of AI itself. And once that accusation is made publicly, there's no clean way back. At the center of this storm is Elon Musk's claim that OpenAI betrayed its original purpose. He says the company was founded as a nonprofit meant to serve humanity, not shareholders. According to him, he put tens of millions of dollars into OpenAI under that assumption. The problem, as he tells it, is that OpenAI didn't just drift toward profit over time. He claims they planned it from the beginning, while presenting the nonprofit story as a convenient cover. From Elon's perspective, this isn't just about money. It's about trust. If someone donates to a nonprofit under one set of promises and later discovers those promises were never sincere, that's not a business disagreement. That's something much closer to fraud. And that framing is why this case is so explosive. Elon isn't asking for pocket change. He's asking for damages that reach into the hundreds of billions, arguing that OpenAI's success was built on a fundamental deception. But OpenAI's response flips the story completely. Their argument is that Elon was never some naive donor who didn't understand where AI development was heading. They say he knew. They say early on, that building advanced AI would require enormous capital, and that a pure non-profit model wouldn't survive long term. According to them, the real breaking point wasn't ideology, but control. When Elon couldn't get the level of authority he wanted, including proposals that would have effectively folded OpenAI into his own companies, he walked away. That alone would already be a fascinating clash of narratives. But what pushed this into another dimension was the emergence of internal writings, old communications, and the uncomfortable reality of what no longer exists at all. On one side, OpenAI has internal documents, emails, and even personal writings from its leadership that appear to show genuine debate, confusion, and conflict about whether staying nonprofit was viable. Some of those writings look bad, no question. They show frustration, ambition, and anxiety about money and power. Critics see them as proof of bad faith. Supporters see them as messy but honest, reflections of a startup trying to survive in an unforgiving industry. On the other side, Elon Musk has something far more dangerous hanging over him: absence. Key communications that could clarify his intentions, his knowledge, and his consent simply no longer exist. They were deleted. Not accidentally, systematically. This is where the entire story changes tone. In legal battles, missing evidence is often more damaging than incriminating evidence. When messages vanish, especially after conflicts begin, courts don't treat that as neutral. They treat it as suspicious. And the fact that sensitive conversations were allegedly set to disappear faster than ordinary ones makes the situation even harder to explain away. From a purely human standpoint, you can understand why someone obsessed with security might prefer disappearing messages. But from a legal standpoint, it raises a brutal question. If those messages would have helped your case, why make sure they're gone? That question is exactly why OpenAI appears almost confident heading into court. Not relaxed, not careless, but confident. Their strategy seems clear. They don't need to prove Elon is lying. They only need to show that he can't prove he's telling the full truth. And when one side has documents and the other side has memory, memory almost always loses. This is why a single tweet from OpenAI's leadership hit so hard. Publicly expressing excitement about sworn testimony isn't bravado unless you believe the evidence favors you. It signals a belief that once everything is examined under oath, the narrative Elon has been pushing won't survive contact with scrutiny. And this is where the fight becomes bigger than either party. Because this trial isn't just about who wronged whom. It's about how AI companies are allowed to evolve. If OpenAI is punished for transitioning from non-profit ideals to profit-driven reality, It sends a chilling signal to every research lab trying to scale. If Elon wins, it tells founders and donors that early promises can legally trap companies forever, regardless of technological or economic reality. At the same time, if Elon loses badly, it sends a different message. It suggests that founders with money and influence can't rewrite history after the fact, especially if their own actions muddy the record. That message matters because it shapes how future AI projects will be funded, structured, and governed. What makes this especially ironic is that both sides claim to be protecting humanity. Elon argues that concentrated AI power is dangerous, especially when it becomes closed, proprietary, and profit-maximizing. OpenAI argues that without massive funding and structured incentives, safe and powerful AI can't be built at all. These positions aren't mutually exclusive in theory, but in practice, they collide head-on. There's also a personal undertone that's impossible to ignore. Elon has a long history of public conflict when relationships break down. OpenAI's leadership, meanwhile, has spent years trying to present itself as calm, responsible, and mission-driven. This lawsuit drags both images into the mud. No one comes out spotless. The real wildcard is how a judge or jury reacts emotionally. Legal logic matters, but so does perception. Destroyed messages feel wrong to people even if they were deleted under a general policy. Personal diaries that talk about ambition and money feel ugly, even if they reflect honest internal struggle. Both sides carry reputational risk, and that's why many observers suspect a settlement long before a final verdict. But even a settlement wouldn't undo what's already happened. The trust between major players in AI is fractured. The public now sees behind the curtain, and what they see isn't a clean battle between good and evil. It's a clash of egos, incentives, fear, and genuinely competing visions of the future, and that's the most unsettling part of all this. If the people building the most powerful technology in history can't agree on its purpose, governance, or ethics, then the instability isn't a bug. It's a feature. No matter how this ends, OpenAI will not be the same company. Elon Musk will not walk away unscathed, and the AI industry will quietly rewrite its playbook based on whatever lessons this battle teaches. Because the real trial isn't just happening in a courtroom. It's happening in how the world decides to trust the next generation of machines and the humans who claim to control them. If you want to stay ahead of this story as it unfolds, make sure you're subscribed. These AI power struggles are only getting started. Drop a comment with whose side you think holds the stronger case, and share this with anyone who still thinks AI development is just about code. This isn't just technology anymore, it's power, money, and the future colliding in real time.